Okay, okay. So, in case you don't know, we've actually started. In case you don't know, we've started.
No, probably they are waiting for us to do some kind of praise or worship session.
We've started. We've started. So, to kickstart this event,
formally,
we'll be calling on some of the names we have in our hands here to the front
row.
Seats,
yes,
where they belong,
because they are our VVIPs. So may you do the honors. Aye.
Okay, first on the list. First on the list is Chief Dr. Sir Godwin Okeke. Sir, please move to the front, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Please, let's give a round of applause as
Please, a round of applause.
Please.
A round of applause.
Thank you very much. If your hands are not heavy, let me say that they used to say it in the church. If your hands are not heavy, if you know you don't have problems all over your shoulders, if you know your problems do not define you, please give him a round of applause.
Even a chick or Macandona Nara no Ibovo, Aship na bomb Madava Sequolo Nyaka. Macandona Nara no Chabeke. Onya Boloshi Megono Sequolo Yaka.
Yes.
Macano did easy. Only when Chokuno Malo. A lot of us have grown up since in Neji Mwanya, Anya Vunuronye GUO. So, such an epoch-making event like today offers us not just the opportunity to see the man, the myth, the legend, but also to hear and draw from his well of experience and wisdom. So please, in your own interest, if you don't have your writing materials, I believe there's a shop nearby. You can actually dash out now, get your pen, get your paper, because sometimes some of the things you might actually hear today, if you don't have a means of capturing them, you might lose out on them. So please don't snooze, don't sleep. Mama Bugatti, over to you.
Okay. So I have another panelist, and that's no other person than Material, Honorable Ikem Mazeli. Please put your hands together for him as he finds his way to the stage. You can make it louder. You can make
One
it
of
louder.
the most accessible and humble entertainer of our time that I have seen. And he always has a kind word for anybody, irrespective of your field of endeavor. My own governor. My own governor.
Okay. Moving on. The next name on my list is none other than our own Professor Olusegun Sogbesan.
You can make that
louder. If you've ever heard about Onitsha Business School, this is the founder here. So just get your pen. I don't need to say much. Just get your pen. A lot is here for you to learn. Please, you can continue clapping. Thank you very much.
Bugatti, you know, people that have actually come for the first and second of these events, they know better. At least they have heard the prof talk. Yes. They've heard him talk. And bros, easy say person run business 10 good years and it is still thriving.
It's still thriving, yeah. It's I'm here not just to talk, I'm also here to learn. So in case you're not here to learn, I'll be learning selfishly while at this.
Sorry, do you mind explaining what you mean
by
learning
selfishly? So, okay, the next name on my list, I hope I don't murder this name. So the name is Ambassador Ike Aniedobe. But this time, he's not a panelist. He's our special guest of honor. And I will be inviting him to the front row. Ambassador Ike Aniedobe. Ambassador Ike Aniedobe. Please
That's
put it on.
That's the CEO of Dobby's Oil and Gas.
Yeah. You can see him in our midst.
A frontline player in the downstream sector of the petroleum industry in Nigeria.
Okay. He's our keynote speaker for today.
Wow.
And I'm inviting him to the front seat. You're welcome, sir.
Well, thank you for coming, sir.
And let me hand over to Fear God. I think I've been doing this selfishly, like I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, it might interest you to know that we have right here in our midst one of our panelists for last year, and one of our main frontline sponsor for today, Chief Don Ebubogo, CEO, Tiger Foods and Spices.
I hope Don doesn't sue you after this. Don says nobody should address him by chief.
Oh, my apologies,
He
sir.
said, I heard him say that.
My apologies, sir, to avoid.
But regardless, so Don is a chief. I can't see him here.
But Bugatti, there's something I'm actually beginning to find out. Are you understanding that a lot of our Igbo men that have actually built value, that have actually built a bottoms-up approach,
They keep it simple.
they keep it simple.
I've noticed that.
And these are men that can actually communicate their history and their growth.
Of course.
So I believe that part of the core goals of this hangout is actually to set the pattern straight.
Yes, and learn how to keep it simple. Why doing the most?
So in that same spirit, we also have Mr. Lutana Mojike. Please, Mr. Lutana, wherever you are, please come to the front row. You are our VIP guest.
Okay, in case you don't know, Mr. Lutana Mojike is the managing director or the general manager of Voice of the East, the media platform we all know about. So please get him to the front seat, please.
Please
Mr. Lutana.
find him to the front row because they are our media partners for this event.
Yes, I think he's not coming because you guys are not clapping. So let's clap and see if you come forward, please. Please, Mr. Lutana, Voice of the East, General Manager, let's get him here now, please. Thank you. I saw him around earlier.
Okay. And we also have in the house Mr. Onyekachi Polinus Ewa. I think that's the CEO of Crystal Garden Estate, a realtor of the finest order. Please, let's put our hands together as we make them welcome to the front row. Mr. Onyekachi Polinus Ewa.
Here with us.
I don't know if His Royal Majesty is here, but I have his name on the list. Okay.
He's not here yet.
Okay.
He's not here
Okay.
Yet. Okay.
So we also have on this list Mr. Ralo Orakwe. Please, wherever you are, please find your way to the front row. You are our VIP. Also not forgetting Mrs. Rose Ikem Obi. Please, wherever you are. Oh, Mama, please come to the front. Thank you. No.
No, please, Mama.
Please, we crave your indulgence to the front. Yeah, I think that's all for them.
Okay. I think I have two more names with me, and that will be all for our special guests of honor. And of course, them being our special guests of honor doesn't make any of you less special. Let me set the record straight. All of us who are here are very, very special people. So I have a name here, Pamela Waiter from Zenith Bank, one of our sponsors for today. Please, madam, find your way to the front seat. Please, let's put our hands together for her. Let's see.
Mr. Bajifani, please do the needful.
Thank you very much.
It's not easy to have a rep from a banking institution, not a banking company.
All the way from Lagos.
All the way from Lagos.
And we'll have them in the city of Onitsha to feast with us.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming, ma.
Okay, moving on. The last but not the least is a representative from another financial heavyweight.
Wow.
And that's none other person but Mr. Ekene Ozioko from Globus Bank. Please, where is he? Where is he? Ekene Ozioko from Globus Bank.
Please, Mr. Ekene Ozioko from Globus Bank, kindly make your way to the front.
Is he hiding so we'll not bring him to the front seat?
Okay, here he is.
Okay, he's coming.
Please, a round of applause for him.
A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much. Wow. Don't worry. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. You're welcome, Mr. Ekene. Okay, and I think that's that
for now.
But before we proceed, I think it's time to now open the floor officially. And to do that, I'll call on somebody to just do a quick opening prayer for us. A quick opening prayer. Who is going to volunteer, or should I have to pick? Okay. I've just been told I will have an evangelist in our midst, so it's only right that I get him to do the opening prayers for us. So, Evangelist Ike.
Never failing out things. I'm working for my good. 'Cause he's intentional.
Otito dili Jesu. Otito dili Jesu. I personally recognize the person of OnitshaBusinessHangout, Prof, and my colleague, Mazeli, and very many other distinguished guests who are supposed to be here and not here, and those who are present to be part of this program. It's right that we recognize the Almighty. Outside him, we can do nothing. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we beckon on thee as the pillar of our life, our source, our foundation, and our hope. I ask you to come and take total preeminence. Let the reason for why we gathered, let the reasons for why people gathered be met. Above all, let there be good hearing ear, so that the words that are dropped will not be like seeds sown by the wayside, on the thorns, on the rocks, but rather let it be seeds sown on the fertile ground that will germinate to bear forth fruit unto increase, 30-fold, 60-fold, and 100-fold, that the hearts of men and women here will pick what they have heard here and herald it around so that we can save the next generation. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So, having done the honors, I would like at this point to bring up to the podium the convener on Onitsha Business Hangout. Okay. I've actually been informed that we have Ralo Orokwe Tiger Foods.
You're welcome, man.
You're welcome. Standing on every existing protocol, may I bring up to the podium to actually give us an introductory message, and a goodwill message rather, to tell us how it has been, what actually inspired him, and what has kept him moving and thriving. Let us have on the podium, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Obaji Ifeanyi, convener Onitsha Business Hangout. A round of applause as he comes up to the podium. Keep clapping, keep clapping.
You can make it
You
better.
can make that better.
You can make it better.
If you
You can
think
make it
it's easy, I bet you. Try what he has done for the first year running, the second year running, and this is the third year. Please give it up to Mr. Obaji Ifeanyi.
Good afternoon, everybody. Ekenekwa m unu ọzọ maka iwepụta ohere iji bịa tata ka anyị nọkọ. Na mbụ, ana m ekene Chineke onye ọ bụ mmasị ya n'ụbọchị tata ga-adịla anyị etu a, because akụzila anyị mgbe anyị na-etonite ya na kịta na ihe niile na-emenu na-eme site na ntụziaka nke Chineke. So I thank God for today. Then nkenekwazie ndị ga-alụla anyị panelist n'ụbọchị nke tata bido n'isi Prọfesọ Olusegun Sogbesan, the founder and DG Onitsha Business School. N'etiti is Chief Dr. Sir Godwin Obaka Okeke, GUO, ọnwa adazi, ọnwa anịọcha, ọnwa Igbo gburugburu. Ana m ekenezikwa Honorable Ikem Mazeli, Ugosi n'obi Chukwu, Material, onye nwe egwu. Ekenekwa m onye ọbụla, kene Mrs. Rose Nkem Okeke, kene Ambassador Ike Anyedobe. In a special way, ekenelum Mrs. Pamela Walter. She flew in yesterday all the way from Lagos. She's the head SME, Zenith Bank, and she's with us today, if I'm not mistaken. Obu Noboria, collect it like that. Then the rep of Tiger Foods Limited, Raulu Orakwe, and our panelists in the last edition, Dr. Olusegun Sogbesan, and for everyone that made our time to come here today. I will be quick with my introductory speech, in as much as Prof may not agree to what I'm about to read, because I'm his student. But Prof, let me just say something before you get angry. My speech goes thus. I'm a retired Christian, but that doesn't take away the fact that I believe in the existence of a supreme being, because if not for him, today wouldn't be possible. 3 weeks ago, as of 3 weeks ago, we had virtually nothing. 3 weeks ago, I needed 100 naira to make this happen. But today, here we are. I won't stop sharing what inspired me to start Onitsha Business Hangout, formerly Onitsha Twitter Business Hangout. Look at how it came about. I'm a social commentator and I'm a government critic. So, and the platform they use is Twitter. So on a particular day, I was calling out His Excellency Dr. Madabro Chukwuwebafos Ubiano. I was calling him out on Twitter. Somebody asked me a very important question. He said, for the past 3 years, what have you done where you are? Kedihi megolu ebahe no kiche n'olu niile daily government. That struck something inside of me, and I decided to look around and find something that I can do that can actually create an impact in my immediate environment and society, which is Onitsha. A lot of people don't believe na maburu onye Onitsha, abu onye Okeke. But a lot of people, with the passion I have for Onitsha, a lot of people till today don't believe na maburu onye Onitsha. So that was what inspired Onitsha Business Hangout. We did our first one in 2022 in a smaller hall with a smaller audience. 2023, we did another one in a smaller hall with a bigger audience. 2024, we are doing it in the biggest hall in Onitsha with a bigger audience and the best of the best in their different industries. That signifies growth. And I am here to tell you that we are not going to stop. We are going to continue. It has not really been easy. It has not really been easy. But the truth is, nothing is really easy. Onwere ihe dị easy. Ma izu ori o, ma ịgba ama o, ma iwe ihe mmadụ, ma ime ezigbo ihe, enwero nke dị easy. But we have decided to be the agent of change from Onitsha to do better than has ever been done. And we will keep pushing until we change the stereotype and the narrative on the negativity surrounding Onitsha. We have formed beautiful partnership over the years with loads of people. We have formed a partnership with Onitsha Business School. We have formed a partnership with Emeka and Bumi Anyoku Foundation. We have formed partnership with Tiger Foods. We have formed partnership with Crisora Group and a host of others, too numerous to mention. And if not for all these brands that I've mentioned, and today we're having Hero International Breweries as part of our sponsors. We're having Crystal Palace, Crystal Garden Estate. Crystal Garden, Crystal Palace. We're having Crystal Garden Estate amongst us here today. And all the way from Lagos, we're having Zenith Bank, and we also have Globus Bank. It shows that Nihani Neme and that is why big brands are identifying with us. We have constituted an advisory board that is going to help us make this journey to be easier for us. One of them is here with us today in the person of Mrs. Rose Nkemo Okeke. Afunu Beromia. Today is the first time just a few minutes ago. Somebody recommended her. We reached out to her, shared our vision with her, and today she's part of the advisory board of Onitsha Business Hangout. And they have already developed a 5-year plan and you can follow to make sure that Onitsha Business Hangout becomes the destination of everybody globally. Then different corporate organizations and individuals has been generous to us, and they are the reason the Business Hangout is holding today. We have created an active website at www.onitshabusinesshangout.com, where we are going to share information. And it may please you to know that the Igbo community on Twitter has adopted our website as an avenue to disseminate information as regarding anything that is happening in Igbo. It's a very big win for us. And Ani Yolo Onitsha Business School, this is our progress. We wrote to Onitsha Business School. We met them. Your Habiko, what can we do to bring about change in Onitsha? And Prof here accepted to do what we call a transformative continuous learning program. And today we are over 60 in that class. And since January, Prof has been giving free classes to this over 60 of us. And that's not just that. All of us are going to get international certificates. And not just that, Mr. Valentine Ozibo has already donated 5 million naira to the project as kick-off project that na onyenwe business actually me mana ojiro capital. He can collect 500,000 from that money and begin his own journey as a business person. Slowly, we are going to change that in Onitsha. Again, one of the advisory board members, donate to go 2 plots of land na Transinkese. And one member, Onitsha Twitter community, has already taken up the charge. Kamalo na Anyagebido greenhouse farming in Onitsha. These are the things that has come over the last 2 years in Onitsha Business Hangout and Onitsha Twitter community. Our biggest challenge in making this event is funding. On Adelani, very difficult assessing fund because what we are doing is 100% non-profit. And on Adinwute, that when we reach out to brands in Onitsha and try to identify with them, they don't really find it comfortable partnering or agreeing to help us raise funds to be able to do this. And in as much as not very difficult, we move from pillar to post, trying to secure funds. To be very honest, this event is holding today is courtesy of a lot of individuals and brands. And I will keep saying it. This is me personally thanking Mr. Don Ebuborgo of Tiger Foods for being supportive all through this our program from last year to this year. And for every time we reach out to him, he is always available. Or they melum big man nampoya na phone or they pick a call. Offer an call on a pick, offer WhatsApp on a reply. And that means a lot to me. And for anything on Onitsha Twitter community name, he always identifies with us. Dalo, thank you very much. So for all of us that are here today, we want to tell you that na Onitsha mama buma naka anyi kodi, na Onitsha jolunjo bunaka anyi kodi. Yesterday na sports club, mba ijele efu onwa, kaina agwandi sports club. Na obulu na ndo kenye, obulu na una azuru anyi ofuma, na aimemecha bulu chairman na chairman na sports club. Ni hai game ebo aga ugwa anyi awajiri one plot ule, we na-erigodu nni n'ime sports club. By the time our tenure ga-eji me expire, agaghịzi enwe ihe dịka sports club. Ọ bụrụ na anyị lekpọga everything, richard the money, anyị chọzi ịgba ọsọ, anyị agbaba ogologo ọkara udu gbada. But if nwa bụ ndị okenye can be able to teach us properly, we are going to baalo obodo anyị ulu, baalo ezinụlọ anyị ulu, baalo community anyị ulu, and we are going to be those agents of change a na-atụ anya n'aka anyị. Ebe ọ ga-esi bịa, ọ ma esi n'enu. It is going to come from different individuals seated down here who are going to bring about that change. So I welcome everyone to this particular event. Mind you that this is 3.0. I gave me 4.0. I gave me 5.0. We are not going to stop. And we are going to touch many lives in Onitsha. That from Onitsha Business Hangout, again with the next generation of millionaires and billionaires in the city of Onitsha. Dalo no Makeibiano today. And then listen attentively to our ogas as they are going to take us through. And Onitsha Business School is here to document everything Obuna Anyukulu. It is going to be converted to PDF and turned into a research study, because you can't just listen to these three gentlemen and for everybody will opinion here. Or we are documenting everything that in generations to come, they can search the internet and find out files about today. So thank you very much, Prof, for making this possible. And thank you very much, everybody, for being here today. Chukwu gozelu munu, dalunu.
So, the truth is, when you ask me to talk about my hometown heroes, I think Obaji Ifeanyi is right on that list. And for no other reason, but for being very intentional with every venture he chooses to chase. And that is something that I'm a student of. I'm a student of sustainability. I'm a student of intentionality. And that's what defines Obaji Ifeanyi's life. Please, let's give him another round of applause. What did he do is not easy. So moving on. I know you guys were thinking that it was just going to be two guys taking you through all this event. No, we are pro gender equality. So doing that, I'm going to be introducing our first lady for today. And that's none other person than the radio chair lady from Wazobia FM. Give her a round of applause as she joins over the stage.
I'm not sure, say some persons were they happy today. Are you sure? Are you sure, say when you come here today, you ready to learn? You know, yesterday when we say we dey talk on air, I come they ask Ifeanyi and the other gentleman welcome, say waiting go happen. And one thing when he talk, he said this event na free. You understand? Events like this, programs like this, hangout like this, they charge. But if they do one free, on top that, we go still chop belleful. And also that one I go sweet some persons. And in case you come here today, you're not carrying notepad, make good use of your phone. Just try to send somebody WhatsApp message as you dey type. Because this event promises to be amazingly awesome today. Do you believe it? Yeah. Wait, so we're not there responsible. Waiting the sup. Una believe You sure say you dey ready to learn today? Yeah. You sure? Yes, so because now this one are the 3.0. The 1.0 don't happen, the 2.0 don't happen, the 3.0 don't happen. And if you see Ifeanyi and the team members, they are very, very intentional about this because they want great change to happen. And when they talk, he said 50 years, there is no business in the city of Onitsha. That is 50 years. And we're very, very grateful. Say some of our panelists today will be businessmen. They try to transfer their business from one generation to another. So an opportunity for you to learn from their experience and also know, say, even as they put and sons, very soon people go to put and daughters, they go to transfer and so that their sons no go to shift to another thing. Amen. Who go talk? Now when you don't hear amen. All right, we have started already and we have one gentleman in our midst. You're going to take us for the keynote address. And please, let's be responsible because these people, they get different things inside of them. So if you are not celebrating them, you not go feed ginger their swagger. That thing when you be say they inside of them, they not go feed they bold enough to talk. I'll be inviting one gentleman. Yes, so because in our youth, so everybody in our youth. If your hands are not too busy, let's make welcome our keynote speaker as will be giving us the keynote address, none other than Ambassador Ike Anye Dobe. He's the CEO MD, Dobe's Oil and Gas Limited. This one a man where don't achieve. I tell you, say a gentleman, a youth, see the way he dress. See swag. Whoa. You see this man, see swag. Hey, make a clear road, too. Is this the best you can do? Ginger is swagger more now. Celebrate him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A great pleasure to me. Prof. Wow, I didn't tremble. My respect. Wow. It's, I would say, rather, this is a place of abode. A place of abode speaks of a place to gather. Sometimes I was teaching some youths. I've had the privilege to tour schools. I'm a Dean graduate for that matter. I passed through Unizik, Dennis Memorial Grammar School. And I'm an active and strong member of class of 88. Class of 88 defines everyone that has passed through DMJS that was a member of the pioneer of 6334 system. Have a union, home and abroad, and I'm an active member. When they communicated this to me, I was with a man I look up to as a mentor, a master, was in the sports club. And Onwa said, please call him, he should be involved because we are handing over to them. I was too busy because I stay more in the West than in the East now, even though my business is still in the East and the West, because a lot of things are not going right. We look up to him. When things go the way they should not, we always put a phone call across to him, and he does the advisory very well. And I'm grateful. I took up this because I have a purpose for why I am existing on earth. Part of my purpose is not just to live, do my part in getting things my way. No. Part of my greatest purpose is to affect humanity, especially the youth. The topic was given to me, and I brooded on it, thought on it severally. I found something that looks like or should be a correction. Prof, if I'm not wrong, this should be more like succeeding against all odds rather than defying succession. Because when you say defying succession is good, but a lot of people might not get it broken down properly with an understanding. I took inventory into the word succession. I went to dictionary to look it up. And I came with meanings. What the dictionary defines it as. The first one, it says, succession is the action or process of inheriting a title, office, or property. Our parents gave birth to us, and they had their businesses in their own way, in their own style, in their own capacities. Some that made a mark, made amiable mark that people, some were heralded, some were heard. When I was very young, I was conversant with the word Ekene de Ichuku. I was conversant with the word Sajo Nwankwo. I was conversant with the word Aro Nkwocha. And so on and so forth. But today, those names and those words are not so much thriving. But to God be the glory. When we talk about defying, we mean, according to the dictionary, it says openly resisting or refusing to allow. When you say refusing to allow something that could be on the negative side to take part, you are simply trying to put up a resistance to something that is going to cause a downfall, a chaos.
I'll just manage.
First and foremost, I must say something. In everything we do, there are days of little beginning. Those that experience days of little beginning, days they started small, and gradually, they grew and they moved on from an elementary stage to a primary stage, even in schools. You go to elementary school, you go to primary school, and then you go to secondary school before you move to tertiary institutions. These are part of the process. But I found something very key here. You guys can permit me to borrow a leaf from the scripture, because outside God, can we do anything? Outside Him, can we do anything? In the book of in the book of Psalms, chapter 11, verse 3, he said, Psalm chapter 11, verse 6, I correct myself. If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Every business has an offspring. It has a foundation, how it was started. I recall when I was in the primary school, my dead father, may sorrows in perfect peace, I know he had some lorries, and he was always shouting on the phone, talking to drivers and all that, talking about people supplying tires and all that. And gradually he migrated into oil, but not in a big way, like a dealer. He became a dealer to one company like that. So sometimes I see him go and receive some products, and sometimes I see him dispatching the drivers and all that. This was his business. Now, as he was doing the business, we were watching him. In our house, we are 9 in numbers. 6 guys and 3 ladies. I'm not the first son. I'm not the second son. By the grace of God, I'm the third son. So while we are watching him doing this business, I could say not very many of us wanted to toe that line. We had our desires, we had our plans, we had our visions of what we want to do. But I found that my father kept doing something. He kept nudging me. He kept drawing me closer. I didn't like it because his program was not what my plans were. I had other kids who were, of course, trying to do some other stuffs. And because of the phase of life I was into, what my father was nudging me to do was not finding entry point into me. But I have something to tell you. Taking over a business that is successful must come with interest. Taking over a business that is successful must come with interest. Every visionary is the one that started the business, the one that started it from the tutelage and began to grow it and to grow it. But over time, the person, the visionary, must not be young forever, because we come and go. Men come and go. Women come and go. Now, amongst the family members, there are those you can look at and you behold those persons and say, this person has capacity. If you identify the fellow amongst the family members that has capacity, you simply start when you are still alive. You simply start to educate, encourage, motivate the person, drive the person to begin to show interest in that business. When the person begins to show the interest in that business, you now train the person's character in the business. And while training the person's character in the business, you watch the person's passion in the business. So while the person is carrying on with the business, you now begin to train him based on capacity. You allow him to do one or two stuffs to see whether he is able to withstand the waves and tides and the turbulence of the business. If the person is doing that, you begin to note in your heart, I have found a successor. Now, the next thing you do, you can move the person into a tertiary institution to go and study about that business and to enlarge on that business and to bring innovations into that business while you are still active in the business. When you do all that and the person comes out and proves himself worthy, then what the next step you do is to gradually give the person an assignment, gradually watch the person execute the assignment, gradually begin to exit while you are still active in the business. Over time, if the person shows competence, capacity, reliability, and able to carry on with the business, then God has been kind to you. You will now be sure that the person can keep hosting the flag flying. But I have something else I found out. Successful businesses and big-time businesses must not be inherited by the next of kin. I've toured around. I have a lot of friends I look up to, mentors, heavy fellows. I've watched them and I've seen an abnormality under the sun. Their children do not have passion for the business. They have their own lines of business they want to tow. In such instances, in such occasions, do you enforce it on them? No. But the business is running and is doing well, and you are alive and you are watching it is doing well. At this juncture, I saw something that could be very expedient and very important. The next of kin can inherit a business, yes, but must not run the business. There are capable hands in the business. There are managers and cashiers in the business. The visionary and the next of kins can have a way, especially the visionary, to talk and find out, since this business is running like in auto cruise, everything is working so well, the managers are there, the cashiers are there, they can as well allow it to run because those people are capable. While the next of kin just does one part, inherit the business. You can inherit the business, and the next of kin that is wise can inherit the business, allow the people who are capable and have competence of running it to go on running the business. And while that thing is done, you will just see the success of the business still moving on. In a business success, we cannot neglect the place of hard work. Hard work, vision, capacity, and competence. When these things are in place, it does a whole lot of good towards enhancing the progress of the business. But something is now a problem in the society today. I don't have enough time, but I could just brush through it. Many people are beginning to look for breakthrough where there are calamities. I see a lot of youths talking about carrying laptops, talking about making people form Mugu. I don't understand that. It's not what I saw my parents pass on to me. I do not see a future in a wild wind. Succession is real. Inheritance is real. But I've not seen any youth or will see a youth that will inherit the wild wind and pass it on to the next generation. Because businesses has foundation. And everything that starts with a good foundation, coupled with hard work, vision, direction, must be passed on. Somebody can inherit something that is tangible. Because it is godly for a wise man to leave inheritance for the children's children. But it's not ungodly for a child to tow a different lifestyle, a different direction, and want to pass it on to the next generation. It is not possible. In a nutshell, I strongly urge us, youths, to look up to those who have broken the mark, those who have made breakthrough. Go to them, find out what works, find out a way you can do this or do that. Borrow leaves from them and get advices from them. Several times, many years back, likes of Onwa, I have called them. I said, I found this a little challenging. Which way do I navigate? And they touched me up. And I continue. And since then, it's been well. And I plan to grow the business I'm doing to the next level and to transfer to the children and to leave something in their mind. Let this thing that is handed over to you, let it not be found wanting. Whatever that is good, whatever that is perfect is from God. And whatever we start acknowledging God, God is able to bring it to pass. God rewards hard work. God rewards progress. Everyone that is of God, everyone that follows character, integrity, must have goodwill. And where there's a will, there's a way. I encourage every young man in this place hearing me, let godliness be your part. Let passion for what you want to do be your portion. As long as you told these directions and borrow leave from those who have made a mark, who have succeeded, I bet you the flag, you keep it on. And success is your board. With this, I stop at this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. What a packed conversation from him. And for those who have questions for him, I would love you to do that I want us to do something. So I want us to have a seamless transition in this event. So I would call on everyone who has a question to drop it using the hashtag OnitshaBusinessHangout. On Twitter, on Facebook, we'll pick it up from there. For those who have not submitted on the portal, so that we don't have a lot of hitches while we are progressing. Also, let me use this opportunity before we go into the panel session. I know that's the moment everybody has been waiting for. Let me use this opportunity to tell you guys that we have vendors out there. We have those who have eatable items. Of course, we have our sponsors, Tiger Foods. We have Crisoral. They have their stands out there. You can go, of course, during the break, you can go and patronize them. You can go get items to eat, items to taste, items to cook with. Before I came here, I've been an ardent patronizer of the Tiger Food brand. I can, off my hand, I can name virtually every of their products. You can test me on that later. But then, let me tell you that my favorite Tiger Food product is the ehuru that they use for cooking. That's funny, but then that's my favorite product. I use it to cook meat whenever I'm cooking. But then going forward, I'll be introducing my co-host, MC Feargod, while he takes us on the panel session where we all have been waiting for. That is a segment where you all draw out your notes and pen down a lot of things that interest you. Of course, there's going to be a lot of interesting conversations in this session.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Like it's been mind-blowing. It's been mind-blowing. Sorry, how many of us actually gained some insights when our keynote speaker was actually addressing the public? How many of us, can I see your hands up? You know, it is interesting to understand that these days we not only have businessmen that just do the art and act of business, but they can actually communicate the strategies, the principles. One striking thing I need you all to understand, up here, we have from the academia, we have from the business, and we have from the lifestyle segment, or rather, the entertainment segment. So I want you to get your pen and your paper ready, because this segment promises to be eye-opening. In fact, to be honest with you, I was just doing a little bit of research on one of our most revered panelists, Chief Godwin U. Okeke, and what I'm just seeing online, like, it is numbing. It is numbing. I can tell you that from the year 1971, that was just immediately after the Nigeria-Biafra Civil War, this revered elder statesman here started making inroads into business. And today, if we begin to reel out his achievements and milestones, it is mind-blowing. Okay, let me just give you a brief. As at the year 1971, he was a supplier of eggs to the University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. By 1972, he had deployed a Volkswagen Combi bus, which was the only brand of passenger vehicle that used to ply Onitsha to Lagos route. By 1975, he deployed two 911 trucks at 9,900 each for haulage of cargo. So maybe some of us are seeing GUO Logistics, which is now the modern, and I can beat my chest to tell you that as far as transportation is concerned in Nigeria, GUO Transport is the company to beat. Whether it comes to timely execution, whether it comes to your logistics, GUO has the reach. Maybe you could have said maybe some years back he was, but he has modernized and changed the face of transportation as far as Nigeria and West Africa is concerned. So ladies and gentlemen, please get your pen and your paper, because we are about to go on a roller coaster ride of experiences and information. So my revered elders, Professor, I noticed you don't have a mic to you, so I'll be giving you this. Yes. Thank you. So let me make sure that your mic is open. Okay. The governor. Yeah. Sure. Thank you. Okay. So, sir, beginning from Chief Godwin, we would like, before we get into the questions, if you could tell us a bit of your stories, like for the next 5 minutes, how you started. Like, what was it for you? And what has kept you going? Now, looking at the theme of this event, what inspired you? What motivated you to, okay, say, let me come and share one or two things with this generation? No, sir, you can sit down and talk to us.
Let me also thank God for giving us this opportunity to be here. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Clap for Jesus, everybody who is here. Clap for Jesus. Yes. I want to thank the organizers of this. It's a powerful sitting, and it is a good program that will help the development of our youth. So once more, with your permission, let me just sit and discuss with you. I've just been asked a question. He gave a little idea. He started from 71, but let me just quickly round it up. By 1970, the war ended. The third day I came to Onitsha. The third day, 1970, and I started struggling. From there, I have been moving forward. God has been blessing me. He has mentioned the way I started supplying eggs to University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. By 71, I wasn't buying eggs from the market and supplying. I had the poetry. I had a very big farm in my village, while I was also trading in Onitsha and also trading at Enugu. So in between, I will supply the goods in Onitsha. While going to Enugu to supply, I will pass through my village and collect crates of egg and supply at the campus. So those things gave me a solid foundation. And year 71, I had started moving into transport business. 72, 75, I bought my first 911. That is the one we call Gongoro. The price was 9,100, 1975. As at that time, by 1973, I made my first trip to London, from London to Japan, Japan to China and Hong Kong. 1973, the exchange rate as at that time, in all the banks, you just move in, sign your check, you collect the money. The exchange rate was 30 kobo a dollar. Can you make a note of it and make a research? 30 kobo a dollar. We were enjoying that. A lot of things went wrong. I had my link with some expatriate companies. I saw what they were doing. The naira was overvalued as at that time, and the expatriates capitalized on that. They were doing what we called in those days overloading of the invoice. If you are importing anything from China, Germany, London, any part of the world, Hong Kong, if it is $10, the Oibo people will make it $20, $30 because they will get the exchange rate very cheap to move their money down. Some of us saw it and knew that one day the system will collapse. Unfortunately, Nigerians, we were not thinking of the country. We were thinking selfishly. So our problem did not start today, because some of the youth will be crying, this government is doing this government is doing that. Our problem, our downfall did not start today. By 1983-84, it has started collapsing, 2 naira, $1, 3 naira. Then the military regime came in and said, no, we introduced what was called second tier. The youth, a lot of you were not born that time. Second tier. The Oibo people, they were advising me that second tier is worse than devaluation. We have never had that type of English. We didn't see it in any dictionary to explain to us what it was. And for you to know the extent we have moved from early 80s to today. They started that second tier with 4 naira. From 4 naira to 4 naira 50. From 4 naira 50 to 5 naira. Up to 1988, it was still 7 naira 50 kobo. By 1988, I took over the leadership of the market, then both Anambra and Enugu, then old Anambra. I was the market leader. Because I had the opportunity of traveling to China, Hong Kong, or Germany. At times when you go there, they say they are on holidays. You have to wait for about 3-4 weeks. I introduced giving traders in then old Anambra Christmas holidays. I called them a meeting, I told them we are dying too young because we work from January to December, no rest. We all agreed to have a holiday from the 21st or 2nd of January of December to first week of January. We started that in 1990, December. By January 1991, the federal government came up with their budget, and they placed Naira at 10 Naira, $1. 1990, December. Make a note and research. And the civil servant, the working class, accused me that I knew that the government would be changing to 10 Naira, from 7 Naira 50 kobo to 10 Naira. And that was why I asked the traders to lock up their shops so that they will add more money. Unfortunately, once you are a leader, some can praise you, some can castigate you. I didn't know anything pertaining to budgeting, but we felt that the traders that we are qualified to have the civil servants. Civil servants, they don't work throughout. They go on holidays. So I told them it is not an offense for a businessman to have a holidays. And up to today, the traders are still enjoying that holidays by the grace of God. So why I am saying all these things? Hello? Hello? No, take my own. Hello? Why I am saying all these things is for you people. I am not a politician. For some people who say the politicians have done this government have done, our problem did not start today. By maybe 10 years ago, I started thinking of handing over to my children because I started working at the age of 21. So by the time I was 60, 65, I knew that I was becoming tired. And looking at what is happening in the country, we were looking at Guinness, we were looking at Coca-Cola, we are looking at Leventis, Boysen Group. I saw and discovered that those people who laid the foundation, Boysen Group, some were their forefathers, but they were moving on, handing the baton to their children. But in Nigeria, both in politics, we were not trained because of selfishness, even to hand over the baton to the next generation. And that is one of the problems Nigerians are having up to today, more especially in the Igbo circle. Our leaders did not train people to hand over. Rather, they held the baton till they were weak and they slumped, and there was scramble for the baton. That is what we are suffering today. So, ladies and gentlemen, you younger ones, plan for your tomorrow in advance. Don't wait till you are old, then you start thinking. Plan for it well in advance. When you are still young, when you are still capable. But let me also advise you people. It is safer. It is much more difficult to save money. It's easier to make money, but it is more difficult to save money. I don't know whether people are getting me. If you are making 100 naira today and you are not saving 2 naira, if you make 1,000, you can still not save. That is where we are advising our youth to be very careful. Let me give you one example. I became a millionaire even as a bachelor before I got married. But I was on pickup 404. Ndị okenye nọ ebe a ga-ama na ife a na-akpọ 404 mgbe a bụ azụ anụ ụka. Amarọ m na ekwudoli ya. Azụ anụ ụka. Amarọ m mmadụ one ma maka ya. Maka ị na-agbata polin a na-akụ tatatatata. Ọnya ka adị ya kpụ ya azụ anụ ụka. Air condition adịrị ya. For our young ladies that are here, some people are looking for people who come and marry them, carrying Mercedes, Volvo, Rolls-Royce, Jeep. When I was getting married, I was still using my 404 pickup. And my wife, she's not here. She's at the school because we are having a graduation today at Mpo Supreme Knowledge. But God blessed both of us. She did not look at those people coming with Jeep or Mercedes or Volvo. She relied on me. She didn't know I was a millionaire before I started talking to her. It is all by the grace of God. It was my parents that advised me, go to that family, that the father and mother is good, that they are assuming that their daughters and their kids are also good. You see, relying on your parents, taking the advice of your parents. Of course, in case, the old papa, old mama, no one worry for farmer. They know all those things. They know more than what we are claiming that we know. Today, both of us have retired. We just celebrated 70th birthday of my wife, and my 75th birthday. And we took a decision. It is not just enough to buy drinks and call people. We built 2-story dormitory building and 1-story building for the deaf and dumb at Central School Onitsha here. And we handed over to the bishops in celebration of this party. And apart from that, we budgeted for 1,000 people that will give them 30,000. Poor people who cannot feed, because a lot of people do not even eat once a day today. We budgeted for them 30 million to give 1,000 people. But by the time we started, as at last week, it had crossed 1,130 something. I said, I beg bank, don't pay again. The money we have budgeted is gone. So at times you think of the less privileged within the society. They will help you in praising God. They will help you in praying to God to assist. Last a week today, we organized it. The blind students came up here. Some of them are graduates. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are lecturers in different higher institutions. And they were telling people openly how I paid their school fees 30 years ago. How I helped them during their wedding. How I did. I have not remembered all those things. So at times people will think, when you are making that money, think of the less privileged. Think of the poor people around you. They will help you in praying to God to continue to guide you. Praise the Lord. Some of you now try back or misleading. Even there in the Bible. And let me also advise the youth. The youth. All my children go and check their records. University. None of them. I have 6 boys and 2 girls. All of them are graduates, and they are also succeeding in life. They are doing very well. But from Yaramoto na university, if I na a higher flat, a student, but a guanada, and I'm teacher. All the one misleading. Be very careful. Nana. Let us be very careful what we are doing with our children. Because when we were coming up in the 80s, a lot of clubs, call them People's Club, more than 10 different clubs, social clubs. Nana had no time to look after their children. They became more interested in going for social gatherings. And now la champagne, now la hot drink, now mempo, now TCU, now tankwobe. They had no time to look inside their family. And that is why a lot of our youth today, their marriages are broken. Umu ikolobia de enweze time. Umu abobia de enwe time. Imwana nyana diege team up ta fufu ke we grow up. Or high life. Ebe ko ge lead ya. So bikono, why we are here every year, and may one opportunity to talk to youth in different places. I think this is my first time of coming to this group.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
So I am highly impressed. They're grateful to God. Now, the ability. God will continue to bless you people.
You,
and
sir.
Some of us will continue to give the little support. I know now by the time I may finish, I have retired. So whatever I'm doing, I call my children to do it. But I think the allowance in there, Kagezulu made 1 million every year. to support what you are doing, to prove that what you are doing is very, very good. So from next week, send me your account details. I will push 1 million to your account. Huh? That 1 million, I don't need the board resolution. Muna onye benka nwere account I ga-asị na-emegbu nke a. Ụmụ decide say na aga add more. They will do that later. So once more, I am very grateful to you people. Keep it on. Let our youth listen. Whatever unufu na-emeta agwago m unu mgbe ego bido collapse ba. As far back as 1972, 73, 74, the economy was good. But we lacked leadership. Kaina lack in our federal, kaina lack in our state, kaina lack in our local government, kaina lack in our individual families. Otutu family dalo collapse because of lack of management, resources. Onyabu unu ga-afụ ogo ụfọdụ. Nna maọbụ nne anwa ozu adị na mortuary. Ụmụaka na-azọ to sell the property to enjoy themselves. While the man or the woman is still in the mortuary, the children will be fighting over their property or lack of training. Let us remember that we owe it as a responsibility to look after our children, to get them trained, to show them the light, to show them the true position of life. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Please, the elders, if I na-influence ụmụaka anyị nwabụ ndị okenye because fa na-enele anyị anya. So now I'm appeal to our elders ka emelo nata down, ka arapụ oke mpako, ka arapụ oke ime nka, oke anya ukwu, grabbing, or may lead to any place. If one name mmadụ ma ọnụ mmadụ ije na-azụ ya na bribe onye enu na onye ani to own somebody's property. Chineke nọkwanu n'enu na watch anyị ncha. O nwere ụdị ego ọ ga-abịa ịkpa Chineke nechalụ gị anya ifu afọ dị na ya. So bikonu, once more I am grateful to the organizers of this. I've said it before. Very soon I'll be taking permission because my wife is already at the school, Supreme Knowledge, where they are doing graduation today. But I told her that to attend this function is very important to me because to train our kids, to give them future and give them light means a lot to me. Once more, thank you very much.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Are you on?
Hello. Okay. Thank you very much, Oma. Thank you for the pledge you made to us. I want to make a pledge, a request on behalf of everybody here. And we made this exact request to Prof a few years ago, and he obliged. You said something. You said you are retired. And that's rightly so.
At the age of 75, no civil servant ever stays on his seat up to 70.
Yes,
so
sir.
for me to have reached 75, it is not an offense for me to retire.
Yes. I agree with you, sir.
Thank you.
So my request is that you said that ndo kenyi begi na ha maro kahasi ebindo no ndo ha ka ina enyomi aiwa wo maazi. So
That is true.
Yes, I want you to tell us, do we have access to the retired Onwa to come and learn from your bosom, just like we've been learning directly from Prof for the past 2 years? Going forward, can we as a community come together, pay Onwa a visit and say, Onwa, because most of us here run one business or the other, and you have experienced some of the things we are trying to pass through, or some of the hurdles we are trying to scale. So do we have that access going forward to come and see Onwa and discuss business with Onwa?
Very simple. Once I'm in the country, give me a ring, my phone is there.
Okay, sir.
I'll take the appointment. I'll talk to you people.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Please, has anybody been learning things from this session? Now, I would want you to quickly go on your Twitter or on X and make a tweet with hashtag OnitshaBusinessHangout. I know. Please, standing on existing protocols, I have to stand up actually to do this. He is one of our frontline sponsors. We are privileged to have with us in here His Royal Highness Igwe Dr. Chris Chidume Orano Eze Anuku Eze Igulube Omo, the CEO, founder, MD, Crisoral Group. Is this how you celebrate royalty? Let's do well. Wow. You may be seated. Onwa, Biko, one last question before you leave. Because on our questionnaire here, you have, from telling us your story, you have answered virtually 90% of the pressing questions we have here. But one major thing we would like you to tell us is, how were you able to get funding? It is common knowledge to all of us, for anybody that has ever cared to research, that after the war, the average any Igbo man living ever got for those that were able to get from the bank was just 20 pounds. I can even beat my chest that in you trying to even tell us how you got funding, you probably started from nothing. So, but can you tell us a bit how you started, and then going forward, how you were able to not just get funding, but then to build on the funding that made you the success you are?
Thank you. I've made it clear that I was in Onitsha from my village in Adaziani. The third day the war ended, I came down to Onitsha with my father's vehicle, 404, to look at our buildings, the structures, whether any was damaged by the bomb or during the war fighting. I came, they were all intact. Then I looked at the data and said, oh, where is the market? And they told me the market is at Fege Police. That was where we started the trading. I went there, saw a lot of Hausas, Yorubas, selling everything. I looked at it and said, okay, that I'll go and report back to my parents. So I went back to get to my car. I saw people crowded. Luckily for me, I had nothing like fear in me. I asked them, what are you guys doing there? They said, Oga, are you going to Enugu? I said, yes. Can you pay me one pound? And they rushed into the car, 8 of them. I took 8 pounds, drove them to Enugu. Getting to Enugu or Obuete, people were crowded because people were stranded at the end of the war. People were afraid. All the big men were still in their villages. But because I was between 21 and 22, I had no fear in me. At Enugu, they said, Oga, are you going to Onitsha? I said, one pound. And they entered again. So between Onitsha and Enugu, I collected 16 pounds in one day. I came back to Onitsha, and people were still ready to go to Enugu. I said, the money they were giving me were all mint. Mr. Mamoro Makanta, if I call coins, how come I for by mint? Bam! Can I go to my village? Naba Rapofa. My mother was crying, shouting on me. My phone had the Rokono. It's in a Quabija. A boy on family long gate. I beg you, my mother below is you. You want us to die? I can see you. The Okeke Kita na interest very good. To impress them, Mbanya obi ba chepụta ego niile na agasa na table. To impress my parents. My mother buluku eyes abia dia. Tubakwa nrapu ego gbana boso. O me melu amad. Oh, my father can call. Na nzuku ife man. So my father had to calm my mother. Nsi anu tutu echi na mma na kwa Onitsha na business there. At that age, I had nothing to fear. I don't have tithing granite with that money. Nimeli na mili mangu anu me bulie from others itinya na moto. Mputa no ototo. Ngwe asi my father because nya ye my mother. Now na aku 5 na me move jebe Onitsha for this business. My father broke okay, you know how to talk to my mother. Or welcome my mother. Before 5:30, emegolum garu with okra. Lacha ya no toto. Bulum militinya na moto. We gbada to Onitsha. We na make Enugu Onitsha. 3 trips. So 16 times 3. Or even they make a day. So that was how I started. Again, you have to be prayerful you have to be prayerful to God. Nyaka no na alu. Government we announce ndị ọbụla ji ego Biafra je kwunye na bank. We just my parents na kwu ife ekwu. Mana si chelugodu. Na mmeje bank nene na ma trust ro ndị a. Exactly ife na eme kita na emekwa mgbe a. Ka nje malụ ka esi akwụnya. Mgbe elue. Onwe ndị bu akpa aji with ego. Ikwu no the receipt nya gị. Counting machine adịrọ mgbe a. Nigeria enwere ụdị ego na-ebute. Mana ego Biafra. Mgbe jesi my parents, na mfụkwalụ ndị bu akpa aji, ma ndị 10 million, ma ndị 5 million, ma 1 million, ma 100, na onwekwo nke a na-agụ. Na suspect na enyesi anyị ego a, na enyesi anyị ya na anyị ga-aka ndị Nigeria. And na wolu wofe emekwe. Ka first split ya, nwayọ. Ka wee kwụnya. And we did that in my family. I kwụnyere into 28 places. So by the time I see je ndị bụ unu si ka enye anyị ego awolowo. Also, we peg everybody to 20. Obligado £1 ka ekwunye, you are getting 20 pounds. Obulu na ekwunye 1 million, you are getting 20 pounds. Obulu na ekwunye 10 million, you are getting 20 pounds. So that was how my family collected 20 pounds into 28 places. So you have to be, when you pray to your God, God will continue to guide you and protect you in your going out and you are coming in. The reverend gentleman, the pastor Ike, you cannot do anything without God. In spite of the fact I don't miss going to church every Sunday to pray to my God in my village. So prayers, ladies and gentlemen, they're very important. Then we started growing. The business naga. Mana without bank facility, you cannot do much. Unu for my picture because I was very young. Go ndi ocha no kale na bank ogo bello. If enwe bu Barclays Bank, Nkebo Union Bank today. Then when Standard Bank, Nkebo First Bank today. And Nandi Ochabundi no kalini isiye. Fana adikom. So then my age, Anya, with my age, can I enter the bank and talk about business? Can they take me serious? That was how I started developing bears to look older, so that they can take me serious, and that helped me a lot. So, you must have something in mind to plan ahead. You know what you want, pray to your God, and God will provide it for you. That was how I started getting bank facilities. By the time we were getting money from the bank free of charge, without any collateral, up to £2,000, £3,000. Unfortunately for us, some Igbos ndị be anyị natalu 2,000 pounds o nwere ife a mortgage, 3,000 pounds o nwere ife a mortgage, fa disappear bazia from the bank. Anyị batazia na bank mgbe a ndị ọcha na-afụ anyị nche, anyị dị very few na-eje bank. Fa afụ gị gị, what of your brother? Na-asị fa fine. Mgbe m discovers na elile ego bank, ịjụzia what of my brother? Tia na ọ bụrụkwa my brother, nọ na bank ka mụ na ya na-afụdebe. Ụfọdụ ndị lile ego a ji eje golu anụm afụfa na Ọnịcha ma ọ bụ Enugu, ọ na-agbafu ofo golu necklace nwoke mekata ogolu gold na-eyi ka nwaanyị, efu ọgbalụ nke a ga-agba n'aka wite ego bank. Maka ya bank wee kọtụ anyị nyezi ego to people without o nwere ife a mortgage. Mortgage na-ekwu tata obidoro tata ọ ụmụ ife MS gasị. So mgbe ebidozilie, because of the trust famwe onye ọcha bụ bank manager n'Enugu, one Mr. Dunklin wee sị m GU na ntinyere akwụkwọ for 5,000 na iwuzi bụ na a ga-amortgage something. Ọ jụọ mma m enwere uno, nsị na m enwere anị na township mụ ya fọdụzi ya uno. Ọ sị what of your dad? Nsị yes na my dad nwe. Ọ jụọ m ebe ka my dad nọ, nsị nọ na-adazi. Trust dịkwanụ mgbe a. Ị ma na onye ọcha so mgbe bịa adazi anị bịa for my father. Kọwalịa na nwa unu na-eme ọfụma mana iwu bank na-enidile mortgage something. Ofu na enu ka my father fanwe na 3 ama obi. Mụnwa bụ nwoke nke isi. Wee gwasịa my father na my mother ekwe the weekend ọkpọ ụmụ nwanne niile nekwa ka esi wee bịa fọ ka mortgage ya una. Ụmụ nwanne m niile agreed because na faith dị and na fa nwee hope na fa ma onye mbụ na ma eji ego fa jeta nkwobe la mmanya jefelu fa wee sign ala m akwụkwọ. That was how the bank gave me the first 5,000 up to 10,000 up to 20,000. Between 72 and 75 I have started enjoying big money from the bank. Gentlemen, you need to be hardworking. Mano melum, ndị very careful. Ị na-agwa m ije ebe a ga-ala mmanya chụnwa ịla nka manka. Mụnwa bụ nwoke nke isi. Bank lee uno my father. Ụmụ nwoke ise sọlụ m ma na a ga-ata nka kulikuli. So mem ndị very careful. Unu na-akpọ m na dodge. Adịrọ m n'otu ọbụla up to today. Because from there and grow Bezia. By 1976, I was able to have 3-story building in my village. 6 flats. Mono one where 1 flat. GUO no be in a flat in a village for almost 40 years without Abakabararo kanje balo field oluchie unu ebe niile ịlọba ịkpọchie ya ochicha na ngwele ana akpa ya ledia investment ana n'iyi kalịa m ị ga-eji ego invest ebe ọ ga-enye gị profit. People are now local champion na villages. So because learn how to invest money, invest wisely. Tata abụrụ onwe business dịgasị on. I hope na unu ga-akpọ ndị bank for agwa unu about treasury bills, about commercial papers, how to make money. Ladies and gentlemen, oge agagokwa mgbe na-eje alụ 2-3-story building ya si na inwele unu iri na ibulugo ọgaranya pụta nọ na ụzọ nke anwụ emechigo. Onye nwe ofu unu ma ịbụa etu unu kwuru na unu ga-abịa from. I'll give you an idea how to make more money. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow. Let's give a standing ovation to the man.
Thank you.
The
Thank
myth,
you, please.
the legend, the one and only Chief Godwin Okeke. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Please let's keep clapping till he takes his leave. You know it is an understatement to tell you that this is a living billionaire. He's not a shouty one, but he's impactful. Oh my God. Wow. 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 Please make sure you are tweeting. We need to actually be on the train table. Make sure you tweet with the hashtag OnitshaBusinessHangout. Are we having a good time? I can't hear you now. Are we having a good time? If you're sure we're having a good time, let me hear you say, yeah, yeah.
I think they want us to do another exercise.
No, they want us to do giveaway.
Do you want to stand up and sit down again?
They want us to do giveaway.
Okay.
But you know the amount of intellectual giveaway that has
We've been doing that. But then me, my own giveaway is to tell them to stand up and sit down if they are not active. So better get active. No, I know.
Please, I would like to bring up the radio chair lady to actually take the next question on one of our panelists. Make sure you're writing. Make sure you are getting knowledge. Even the Bible says, in all you are getting, get understanding. At least we've seen the reality that the Igbo man is not far away from his chief. Everything Chief was telling us, he would always find a way to say, praise the Lord. He will always find a way to say, make sure you pray. So, radio chair lady, are you ready? Are you talking to the prof or to the governor?
You know, we ministry, my call and ministry resemble my ministry. Very, very important, talking about music.
Now our ministry.
Yes, our ministry. You don't understand.
No, you know to know, but you go know. Governor knows better.
All right, because we don't see business.
So I use this mic.
We don't see businesses when you say some persons to just do as they do and finish. We don't reach time for the applicant to take over.
Sit.
Then they should make talk about this music ministry when you say we don't say your papa so you run now so you don't take over. I feel like say the batting then transparent to you.
Thank you very much. I think first of all I have to say thank you to the organizers of this event for organizing this wonderful program today. And this is my first time of attending this program. And I'm very, very humbled and privileged to be on this podium as a panelist alongside my good friend Prof and Chief Gio. I had a humble beginning. I'm speaking from the entertainment section. You know, he have spoken from the business aspect of this program. My own area of specialization is entertainment. And I believe your question is from that sector. Yes. So you talked of succession. Yes. Let me use myself as a case study. I'm from a family of musicians. It runs in our family. My father was a musician. He played guitar very well, but at the local level. Likewise, my mother, she used to sing when she was alive. She used to sing for her group, so many groups she belongs to. So you can see the thing runs in our family. Then when I now grew up, I had the passion, first of all, for music. And I was determined to go into entertainment because I've now seen that it runs in our family. So as you can now see, I now succeeded my parents. As God may have it, I've been doing well in the industry. For those of us here, for those of us that knows my media handle, that has been following me, Mazeli material. You can read so many things about me. As regards to succession, I'm referring to your question. You cannot force somebody to succeed you. That person has to have the passion for that thing you are doing as a parent before he will now think of how to succeed you. I believe it's good for you to succeed your parent, when you have passion in what they are doing. I personally, I have 4 girls and a boy. And I cannot actually tell you now that this person must succeed me. No. I'm just praying and looking at them. My son, I've now encouraged him, advised him that it's very nice for him to go into that direction. I personally encourage him. He can now play piano very, very well. Yes, but not at professional level. But he's still in secondary school. So you can now see that I have now started planning for him to succeed me in the industry. And I believe he has the passion. On succession, I think I've been able to answer you, except you want me to go into my story as a musician. Okay, yes. Thank you, and I thank God Almighty that I'm telling my story today. One thing is for you, I believe you are the best, or you are the right person to tell your story as an individual. Yes. I thank God nobody is telling my story because I'm still alive. I'm happy. I started from my early days as a flutist, what we call Oja. Though somebody advised me to stop calling Oja flute, that Oja is Oja. And Oja doesn't have an English name. I don't know if you guys believe that. So Oja is Oja. So I started with Oja. When I was growing up, there was this cultural group, Nkoleka cultural group. I was a member of that group. I was playing Oja for them during my secondary school days. But sometime in 1990, 1991, I got involved in a AYF band, Emmanuel Anglican Church to be precise. I joined that gospel band. Then I was playing conga for the band. But sometime during December period, most of our members, they are not people from Onitsha town. Yeah. They have to go back to their various towns or villages to spend the Yuletide with their people. So we don't have people that will sing for us. So I now said, I can do this. And they now give me that benefit of that. Do you know what? You'll be surprised. When I now took over the microphone to perform, after my performance, when the lead singer now came back from his Christmas celebration, he wasn't able to fit in because of my performance. So from there, later, sometime 1994, 96, I myself and some other talented musicians, we now formed what we called Onitsha Youth Band. We play varieties. We play gospel music, high life music. We play reggae. We didn't specialize in a particular, we are playing all-around music. But later, when I now graduated, I'm a graduate of political science. It's a different, I know you'll be surprised to hear that I'm a graduate of political science. It's quite different from what I'm now practicing today, yes. So when I now graduated, I now decided to go solo. That is to form my own band. In life, sometimes you have to take risk. If I didn't go solo then, maybe I wouldn't have been where I am today. I just saw the need for me to take that challenge, take the risk, and go solo. I now called my group and say, since I've graduated, that I want to take this music as a profession. And I now formed my own band called Material Band. That was in 2000. Since then, I've released so many albums, of which I know if I start mentioning all my albums, most of us seated here knows my album. The likes of Eke Olusegun. And me who's mad. Isi miliada tata, onwelefe libife. You know, one thing spectacular about my music is that my music is not just all about playing music, but I try, it's more of philosophy. It's more of philosophy. So whoever that is listening to my music, you have something to go home after listening to my music. But the business aspect of it is that entertainment is lucrative. It's very, very lucrative. For some of us that are seated in this hall, once you've made up your mind to go into entertainment, one thing will come into your mind. You have to have the passion to do that, determine, and you have to be creative, not just going into music business. You have to be creative for people to accept your brand. I believe when I started, I decided to create my own pattern of music. And I will tell you that I'm not boasting, but in the whole of Anambra or Southeast, if you attend any function today, you cannot stay in that function for 5 minutes without hearing the person performing in that arena playing one of my songs. The anchor, your co-anchor person is a musician. He can attest to that. Fear God. So what am I trying to say in essence is that we have to be creative if you decide to go into entertainment industry. Not only that, you have to get yourself involved in the digital space. We have what we call changeover statics. Well, the environment we are now, if you are not involved in the digital space, I don't think your business will go far. That is why somebody like me, and I saw the need to have a media crew, yes, so that you will go far in the industry. If you're not in the digital space, I don't think you go far in the industry, because I used to think back when I was growing up, the likes of Chief Stephen Osita or Sadebedem, Oliver the Cook, if they had the opportunity that we have now, I believe they would have gone far and make more money than what they have in life. So I advise the entertainers to try and get involved in the digital space. It now helps. Time has gone when we solely rely on our marketers. I will say it because I know I'm on air. The marketers, they are not helping the artists. They are not helping matters a lot. Because, let's take for instance, you as a musician, a marketer will release your album. He will tell you that he released 10,000 albums. You will see it in his office. He now went back and print about 100,000 copies. When it's time for you to come for him to give you your own percentage of what you people have made in the business, he will tell you, Oga, meanwhile, he has been making sales on his own. So, but when you are in the digital space, you will be monitoring what you're getting daily or monthly or weekly, depending on how your agreement with whoever that is doing that with you. Whatever you are getting, you see it on your dashboard. It's not the time of they will sell 1,000 copies and tell you that. No. Whatever you're getting, you will be seeing it on the dashboard. Once you click, if you have 5 albums And all of them are on the digital platform. If you wake up in the morning, you check what you've made for the week. You will see it. Nobody is going to tell you stories. So I'm encouraging all of us to get involved in the digital space. I have to rest my case. Yes.
Thank you very much. You know, when we say we talk about your parents. So I believe, say, the succession when you be say your parents do like the traditional one. And when you be say you enter, so innovation take place when you show you talk about the digital space. And very important, thank you. It is very important for us to understand, say, the world now not be analog. It already moved to a global world, so we're all in a global world. So now I want to ask, talking about this succession, how will we talk about mentorship, trying to mentor the next generation, the youth, you know, you understand, for this succession, so that you go move away from the traditional way? Because now you see your parents, your mom, your dad, they're into music, and maybe they just do one for fun. Then you enter now, so you can upgrade, you can enter business. And now another generation, your children, maybe your son, when you be say they talk to, and is it all about talking to them? What about the place of mentorship?
Okay. On that aspect, I'll tell you that you don't have to mentor only your family members.
Okay.
No. People around you, you will be proud tomorrow to have somebody come on set or on air to say that I take this person as a mentor. I personally, I don't have to start mentioning names here because I know so many people that I've mentored in the industry. When you're mentoring that person, you bring that person closer. Tell that person what they call or nitty-gritty or in the music business. Advise that person. Because if you're going into music industry, you have to first of all decide the sector you want to go into. In entertainment industry, we have the movie industry, we have the music industry. In that music industry, you have to decide whether you're going into the gospel sector or high life sector or hip hop sector or reggae sector. You have to advise the person to know the area that the person will specialize, because you don't have to be master of all. You have to specialize on a particular area for you to excel. You cannot be playing high life tomorrow. You will come out and be singing reggae music. You'll be known for a particular sector of music. That is when you excel in whatever you are doing. You have to be creative. You advise that person on how to, I know how many people have taken to studios, pay their bills, they record their music. That is mentorship. That person tomorrow can come out and say that this person is my mentor. So,
sorry, Ogovo. You know, say this your material brand now family business. So you go like make it be say the thing still there your family, or maybe somebody outside your family where it be say you don't already the groom to take over. Because those days now for my village, you get one particular musician, for their papa, grandpapa, all of them they sing, they come. You understand? So, but when he can't reach the stage, you can't turn them into business, the music. But after he exits the world, he picking just one for like 5 years. And that's so the thing take crash.
No, in my family, mostly everybody in my family is a musician.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going out from my family anytime soon.
Okay.
So I have people already that I've mentored into that music industry. Okay. So I don't think it will just go like that.
Okay.
But that doesn't stop you from people around you, people that works for you, mentoring them too. I have people that have worked under me, they are now on their own, playing their own as a brand. So you can see it has gone out from my family. Okay. I've extended that hand to other families.
All right, finally, before I go allow you rest, this your line of music. Waiting actually they give you the inspiration. Because I believe say so many persons here, even the people when it be say they watch us live, they still get time for mind to go into your genre of music. So waiting they give you the inspirate.
Okay, my own area of specialization is high life music. When I graduated, I saw the need for me to go into high life when I decided to go solo, because I saw the likes of Chief Stephen Osido, Sadebe, and Oliver the Cook. They were coming of age. So we need people that will take over from these people when these people must have left the stage. So, and when I was in the university at Edo State, I used to visit the late Sir Victor Owaifo. I used to attend his shows, and he plays traditional high life. I was following him, and that was when I now decided to take that brand of music as my area of specialization. I now decide to go into high life. Though then, people took high life music that, no, offend the Agadi Nwoke, offend the Kalonka. But I think to an extent, we have changed the narratives. Yes, we the younger ones now, we play high life music better than what people think high life music is. And now they surprised. So many people, when they see me physically, they surprised, because when you hear my brand of music, what I'm saying is older than my appearance. You know, Ikem, Mazeli, you don't know if I got in work. And I go kili. You will be thinking, no, if I got in work. But when it's Epholum life, if we're a younger person, so you can now see now I change the narratives. You are here. So I from the need for us to take after those old men. Mafarapo the stage. Just like us now. People need so far get our younger ones. By the time I want to or retire bakwa, younger ones need to go high life now, even better than us. So you can imagine.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Talking about retirement, because this your retirement just make me want to ask you one final question. At what stage should a founder, you and a founder, hand over the business? Talking about this your entertainment business to their successors. So at what stage should the handover take place, and what will be the process to do this handover?
I think it's not like civil service. You will be watching your health. Once you're strong to stand on stage and deliver, you can be old age-wise, but you can be creative. You can still be creating, releasing albums, not going to events, night and day. But when you're getting old, nobody go tell you. Your body go tell you. Even at mid-age, if your body tell you, say, make you retire. One name retire, wow. And me who's going to I want to go on the kind of life we are living now. If it's only when that person tells you what what is happening to him. If on a gabiga. I have addresses here. So what I'm advising everybody is for you to know how to take care of yourself. You know, a business opening, sector opening, when your body is telling you to go and rest, retire. Don't look at the age that you are going to retire at the age of 70 or at the age of 75 or at the age of 50. Once your body tells you that you can no longer continue with this, retire. You better live when the ovation is high. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. If you are celebrating him, celebrate him well.
Okay. Okay. Material, thank you for that session. So I have a few names with me that I should do a proper recognition for, and they are representatives from ANSIPA. And I might not get it correctly, but then ANSIPA stands for Anambra State Investment, whatever board. Sorry. Sorry. So the names are Augusta Nadi. Kindly stand up and give us a wave. Please give her a round of applause as she does so. And also we have Kongo Ajeku, Head of Public-Private Partnership, ANSIPA. Augusta is the Head of Strategic Communications with ANSIPA, and they are here to represent the government organization called ANSIPA for today. So without wasting further time, I know that some of you will be thinking that we're only going to have male panelists. But then, here I am to burst your bubble once again. I have a female panelist for you all. And she's no other person but somebody I describe as the bridge between corporate businesses in the Southeast. Any business you can think of that is successful in the Southeast, she sits on their board, one way or the other. I can put my money on this. She's one of the board of trustees member in Onitsha Business School. She's a public policy analyst. She's also I wouldn't call her a politician, but then she's also one of the founding members of one of the foremost political parties you know. She's none other person than Lady Ijoma Ezaso. Please give her a round of applause as I bring her to the stage. Please, you can do better. Please get her for me. So, I want to believe that a lot of us have questions to ask the panelists, and probably you have submitted it. If you have, please, you guys should get the question across to us, the organizers, get the question across to us so we can ask it in due time. You're welcome, Ma. And I'll be taking the rest of the panel session. Okay, more names. I thought I was done doing recognitions, but then, alas, Ifeanyi he's saving the best for the last. So, worthy of recognition is Chief Dr. Paulinus Onyeka, the chairman, Crystal Garden Estate. He's here in our midst. I think we called him earlier, but he was not here. So, thank you very much for coming, sir. Please give him a round of applause. Again, you guys are not active. I think I'll wake you up again. I'll only not stand up, His Royal Highness, but I'll stand every one of you up again if you are not active. Okay. Let's move to the brighter side of things. Okay, I hope we're all tweeting. The hashtag is OnitshaBusinessHangout 3.0. You can also drop your questions there. They will get it across to us, and we'll ask it in due time. Let's move on. Good afternoon, Prof. Let me start with Prof. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so it's good to have you in this edition of the Onitsha Business Hangout. It's no longer news to you. You're already a regular. You're part of us. And thanks for your mentorship, your support. But then today you are here as a panelist. And the topic of the day is succession. It's centering around succession. And there's no other person who is well placed to have that conversation than you, who have a very unique story, which it wouldn't be mine to tell. I wouldn't want to tell it over and over again. I want us to do a little bit of research. His name is Professor Olusegun Sogbesan. Go and look him up, and you'll be wowed at what you will see. But then moving on. Prof, what is your story about succession? What is your idea of succession?
Thank you, and I want to sincerely appreciate the organizers of this program. And to me, is a continuous program, and therefore, we will continue talking about issues, strategic issues that we have identified that will necessarily change the narratives of the outlooks of businesses and the business enterprises around Onitsha and Anambra State, Southeast Nigeria, perhaps to the some extent Nigeria and also to Africa. I had foundations, the background of chemistry. So I studied chemistry from University of Lagos, metallurgical engineering from Yabatech, College of Technology, and biochemistry from University of Ibadan. And of course, when we ask what takes you into business, it's just one of those programs that I did while my professional qualifications. I became industrial economist in 1999. I think I'm the third in Nigeria and the fifth in Africa. But that was not even enough for me to go into business. I saw the challenges that is around the business environment in Southeast. And I felt somebody just need to come into it and provide solutions. So we started consultancy services, and we were doing that. And as we grew up, we had 12 units, and from there, Onitsha Business School came out of it. I didn't plan to be a professor, and it was not my desire. But after the first PhD, second, third, I had a technical session somewhere outside Africa.
Wait, sir, you have 3 PhDs?
The sixth one is coming.
Okay. I hate school, but then I think...
It was not just a quest for just certificate, it's a quest for knowledge. We want to be competent in research to make sure that whatever you are doing is acceptable. Perhaps you'd like somebody to critique your findings, and that is why we present it, and it comes out to become PhD certificate. I think that is what I've led to all those things. Succession is a strategic need. I love telling people, and some of my students, that business is a living thing. Business is a living thing. You can conceive business just like you conceive a baby, and you give birth to the business. You grow from toddler to want to get to teenager and to maturity. At maturity, we call it zone of maximization. Maturity is zone of maximization. But before maturity in business, there are things that must do. For instance, if you give birth to a child, you can give birth to deformed child. You can give birth to a premature child. You can give birth to what you call stillbirth. So that's how business ideas are. And at that level, you have to adopt a particular or a selected strategies and tactics to grow it. And when you are going, we're called growth strategy. And we also have developmental strategy. So growth is different from development. But when you talk about succession is that business is continuum, and therefore somebody should take over the leadership of the organization, and perhaps to look at the necessary change that must be led. So what we see here, around here in Nigeria, as it were, is that we have good ideas about businesses. We pursue it just to make money. And that is where the problem comes from. Just to make money. And from researches that we've done, we've discovered that money is not a reward for a business process or processes. Money is just a byproduct. It's not even the main product. And we do business because we want to make profit, isn't it? But that is the elementary part of it. Business on its own, because it's continuum, we should do business because of the gain. And if we have that focus, to bring any change into that business, we must be visionary. It is only visionary, focused visionaries that brings change into an environment. And what in the past, we want to make money to pay our bills. We want to make money to send our children to school. We want to make money to build houses. And we are limited in what to do after making the money. And that is just what our forerunners did. And another mistake that I've discovered is that we prepare future for our children. We don't prepare them for the future.
Okay. I hope you guys are jotting things down.
And because of that, the children become so lazy, mentally lazy. In fact, they have different mindset. They are born to eat. We call them obiageri. We make our children obiageris. Yes. So, but if we train them to understand, to have passion, to understand what to do. I remember when I was young, I started school very early. In fact, at the age of 2, I've started going to school because I lived with my grandmother. So everything about me is school. Everything about, I think, is about school. So when you are training your children, people that you think you are working for, or people you are preparing their future for, when they have holiday, do you take them to the office? Are they with you around the factory? At least to just walk around and see how tedious, how to make the money. And when you are sending some deliberately or intentionally, when you are making some procurement, you get them to know, to hear you. When you are solving some operational challenges, you allow them to hear what you are saying. You call those terminologies in their presence. You create phenomena that they will also learn to be part of it. It is not just for them to know that you are a billionaire, but they should learn how to make that money. And therefore, what our forefathers did, or forerunners did, was immediately they have their children, because they don't have time, they send them to UK, America, as early as 10 years old. And we lost them. And by the time they are old enough, when they want to say, let me exist, these people are not around. So succession is not just because of our children. It's because we want to keep imparting to society based from that business. So another thing where we do, that I've discovered about succession in Southeast and Nigeria, based on research report, is that we don't create strategic partnership on time. No strategic partnership. It is strategic because it is futuristic. But when your partnership is just to bring money together and do business without looking into the future, it is not a strategic partnership. And then you need to recognize the key stakeholder from the beginning. I love telling my students one thing, and my clients, that it's good to be a shareholder, but it's also to consider more of the stakeholder than the stockholders. We know more, our motivation is all about the shareholders. But the stakeholders and the stockholder are the ones that guarantee the sustainability of that business. And that is what we call succession. And every businessman is looking for a good financial returns, motivated workers, employees, and of course, satisfied customers. But do you know that we don't even create customers for ourselves? Most of the businesses we do, we are interested in the buyers. All customers are not just buyers. And not all buyers are customers. So every business that we become sustainable we must necessarily cultivate the customers, culture the customers, and capture them. And that is why there are so many businesses that are, to me, from analysis we have made, that are not in third generation. One of them is GEO. GEO is in third generation. Yes. You know, he's told us here that he took him from his father. Yes. And now he has handed over to his children. Yes. Look at what they are doing. And again, because of the structure that is established within that system, it is easier for the children to pick up from there and add some other things to it and that's where they are. And again, another thing that I also like to say, when your organization is not properly structured and not properly controlled, and there is no culture. Actually, it's culture that sustains the business. And you get to so many organizations, it is not when you are old you retire. I think we are taking it too far. Can we talk about if that person is no longer available, or perhaps is sick for 1 year, God forbid, or that person, something, we are aware when Bolingo died, the accident on crafting. So from there, you need to establish a structure of succession. You only know the MDs and the chairman, and once it's not around, nothing happens in the organization. And we see that is not good, because it creates a gap and lag. It creates gap and lag. And the flow of responsibility and information and communication must be so clear to everybody that works in organization. And therefore, that is why we see most organizations that Oganoria, that shows that it's not even a business. Because a business is a living thing. Yes. So why we're looking at organization, another thing that we don't do is that in most of our businesses around here, we don't generate business model before we engage in it. What we call business is just mere trading. And if you don't generate business model before you engage in it, you might get to a point that your capacity might not be able to carry on. And you begin to lay hands. Of course, the engagement of staff, the engagement of professionals, the competencies that we are bringing to businesses are not based on specification and requirement. In each employment, you probably only have one work on a village or if on a lu or guru akuko fuma. Bolum yakobia or manage manage store. Oka munayama or for munaya jena village. I pay in a business. You bring in a whole retired headmaster or principal into a business. He's already retired physically. He's retired, and when it comes to energy, he cannot run around. Only daily akuko, and at the end of it, teacher ogini kunuluta. I could go moku since morning till evening. Oga, I got you for kind shot and the It doesn't have any cognitive contributions at all. And therefore, these are the things that affect our businesses. And when the owner, the pioneer, exists in the business, nobody wants to hold it. At times, I look at, we have worked on so many businesses that have gone on an institution, and we have looked at family structures. We also look like organizational structure. And some of them, it's a pity that we have lost so much of resources. For instance, look at what has happened to GMO. Look at what happened to Olympic Packers. Look at what happened to the recent one and some of the few ones, Ekene de Ishuko, and so on and so forth. Is that a story, a narrative that we should continue to discuss? It is so appalling, so sad that such big establishments have gone that way. And look at, we are losing 5,000 employment because Premier Bureau is not working. Tempo Flour Mill has lost. And it is not all about money that makes this. It is about the human composites for the organizations. And that is what guarantees sustainability. Even when the MD is not around, the system runs. I am glad to have somebody that I so much appreciate. It might be a secret fans of him, he might not know. But he started from Edbridge, the Ogbogu side. And it developed. Look at it today. It's now a group of companies. Sorry, Your Highness. I'm talking about you. He has done so much that we can learn from it. It's the first time I met him at the factory. I saw structure. And no wonder when he went into royalty, these things, I knew that that system will work. And there are some other, I can still call it first generation, but look at Kate Associate Industry. That is now in a third generation sound. That's the third generation. You can look at Tiger Foods. Tiger Foods is not the first generation. It's second generation. My man started it. So you can look at Ofoma, Natalia. It's now in second generation sound. The people are still alive. You can look at so many other businesses that are around. Things are changing. But how long is it going to take for others to start learning new things? So in business, like I said, it has a life cycle. When it gets to zone of maximization, it starts declining. You need new energy, fresh energy to inject into the system. You need fresh information, innovation to inject information. Business must decline if you don't take care of the zone, the maximization zone, because that is when you introduce what they call disruptive creative strategy. So I believe the younger people, of course, they have not learned anything from what we have acquired. Look at what Shivji said. I was a copper in his village in 1991. I knew when the business started having the change. So I have observation of the trends within the environment. And I discovered the only thing we can do is to start engaging the youth while we still have the energy to run. I dug my cap for the late founder of Kutis PLC. He brought that change to Southeast.
Yes.
It's still, we are thinking of who will now step into that shoe. I don't know whether we can, I believe that Chris Ora Group will become PLC very soon. And also believe that Tiger Foods will become PLC very soon.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
No, sir, still on speaking, I'm just trying to drift you away a bit. Speaking on PLC, so there's a question here I could answer, but I want to get your input on this question. The question says, it seems the best way to maintain business succession is through going public, PLC, like you were just speaking about. Why is that mostly the option?
You see, it's mindset or thing. We need to have a shift in our mindset. You are not losing anything when you go public. You still have your shares. Only that other people are contributing, bringing in something, other values. Your family still inherit your shares. So nobody's coming to change your name. Most of what we have in the Southwest and in the northern part of it, I know of a company in Southwest. They are in the fifth generation. Yes, fifth generation. They are paper mill industry. They are fifth generation. In fact, people that started, they have gone. And I can mention a list of those companies that are there. What did they do differently? They started engaging every member of the family to own the business. If what you don't own, you don't owe it. So they built that entrepreneurial ethics in them, even while they are eating on the dining. They discuss some of these details. You find out that, okay, Golden Penny Mill. It's not the first son that has taken over from the father. It's the third one. The third person. And we can, as we discuss it, you can discuss how you develop the product. You can say, how do you develop this Aston malt? You now begin to discuss it. That may be the point of contact and attraction. How do you develop this other brand? And you discuss the product development. You discuss people that are interested in it. Don't talk about money. Just talk about the other part of the business. And before you know it, somebody wants to, Daddy, I want to follow you today to the factory. Daddy, I want to follow you today to the factory. And of course, we can sustain our businesses, succession, through mentorship. And that's what somebody has already explained.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I think after this panel session, which will be rounding up in a bit, we'll be going for a quick break. Don't forget that we have our headline sponsors, Tiger Foods. They are in the house, and they have something for every one of us who are seated here today. And it is right outside there, but not yet. Let's ingest knowledge first. Thank you very much. So going forward, I have another question, which I think you might have answered in the course of the conversation, but then I want you to personalize your answer for this particular question. So it says, how did you get to convince new clients that you are good at what you do?
Oh, that is, I know I have some clients here. The first, I will use the one that you all know. I had him as a client some times ago. How you convince people that you carry the capacity and the capability to deliver. They're different. Capacity and capability are not the same thing. And what you do is, number one, when I started pro bono, with pro bono services. I'll be going from factory to factory. I can do this, I can do that. I look at your problems, we can solve it. And from there, we started doing our consultation. I was looking at how to expand the marketing operations of companies first, because that was the need I saw. And we move on to strategic business development. And from there, we move on to product development. From there, we move on to establishing organizational culture and other things that we're doing. They might not believe you at the beginning. But when you are committed to what you are doing and you are consistent, you will make some mistakes. And those mistakes might not be intentional, perhaps as a result of your interaction with the environment. Some people will be throwing stones on your way to see how you will fall. But when you are committed to, and you are focused on what you are doing, and over time, people tend to begin to appreciate what you are doing, and then coming back to you. You were doing this about 10 years ago. We didn't understand you. How do you go about it? When we started, we were having 5,000 as form. It grew to become 25. It grew to become 50, 100. But today, in Strong Tower Consults, for you to be our client, you pay 1.5 million. Because it is no longer... Only to be... Yes. It is no longer what we used to do. We have scaled up so many things. And of course, we can do D&D for your organization and tell you where you are missing it. Because a lot of competencies have been brought in. We have our associate consultant in UK, in South Africa, in Saudi Arabia, and of course in Canada. So once you present an issue, it is no longer, we don't make it to be Onitsha issue. We spread it to the world, and we see where the system comes, the solution comes. So how we do it, another thing is that we improve ourselves on a daily basis. You see, learning, I love telling people, is what guarantees earning. If you don't learn, your earning can remain stagnant or begins to decline. So continuous learning is what guarantees continuous development and continuous earning. And that is just what has been helping us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I'm still with you, but then I would go over to attend to our mommy. And in case you people do not know, she's my mommy. Mommy, take your mic, please. Switch it on. Her name is Madam I.J. Ijoma Ezaso. She's a public policy analyst, and she's a member of several boards of trustees in businesses based in both Southeast and outside the Southeast. Please give her a round of applause once again. You're welcome, ma. Mommy, please, your mic. Okay, ma, let's get your view on the topic of the day. The topic of the day says, Defying Succession. And as somebody who has interfaced with several businesses, consulted for several businesses, involved with several businesses, what is your idea of succession and the discrepancies, the strengths, the weaknesses of the subject topic of succession?
Thank you very much. Most of you know me here. I'm a little bit controversial. and I want to keep it controversial.
I like it like
and,
that.
I thank you. Ansipa is here. So I'm going to take it to the government angle directly too, because what Prof has spoken, the issue of succession isn't even only about what is happening to us in the business angle, but also to the governmental. Eastern region had a lot of what we gained from our leader, Michael Opara. And I'm asking, where are they? Michael Opara took us, the Southeast, to be the leader in the in the production of palm oil. Where are we today? He used cashew nuts as part of our environmental remediation because of our topography, the issues we have with erosion. And cashew is an economic crop, which has high export value. Where is it?
Real estate.
We had a lot. We had the Obudu Cattle Ranch, where we had our cattle. We had at Oji River a tannery that was supposed to use the leather, and we produced it. We once had a standard shoe at Owerri, and what has happened to it? So I want to keep it a little bit controversial, and I'm happy the government is here, because we've talked about how Prof talked about Tiger Foods, talked about His Royal Majesty's business, and the government is here. That's the third angle part of it. They go about doing business promotion. And the angle of business promotion in the Southeast, because I walk across the whole states around here, is going abroad, discussing more and more with the investors, the foreign one. How about the local ones? When we talk about investment promotion, it should be about the information coming into you. Does so investment in South Africa wants to invest in Anambra State? What are the value chain already existing that will bring them in? Then you can now tell him that His Royal Majesty has a distillery, has a beverage company, has done backward integration, can do your cock, can do your this, and can do your that. He works with so and so. We can provide the due diligence that so and so person does that. When you are now going for investment promotion, you go with investment promotion based on what is existing. So what is happening in succession with businesses is also happening with what we inherited in the Southeast. Where are they? We have a Wema Bank that is over 75 years. Where are the banks in the Southeast that were formed by government initially, the ones in the Southeast? We had the Progress Bank, the ACB, and the rest. Where are they? We need to have a rethink. We need to think about how, if Nigeria breaks up today and we need to be in regions, how are we going to survive? Prof, you mentioned tempo. During the COVID-19 lockdown, because I consult for Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, my phone number was shared across by a man for all the companies having problems bringing in their goods to the Southeast. At a time, I had to call the Chief of Staff, the then Chief of Staff in Enugu State. I told him, reach out to Anambra State. All the goods destined for Enugu and Ebonyi were locked at the head bridge. He said, I hope you know there is no flour mill in the whole Southeast. That if we are locking flour out at head bridge, then we cannot produce bread in the Southeast. Critical industries, critical manufacturing, essential needs. Tiger Foods is in the manufacture of food. Government talks about so and so plans, budgets for so and so number of trees. Are those things economic trees? Did anybody bother to, in part of their planning, ask Tiger Foods, what are your key ingredients? So that we can move through our Ministry of Agriculture to the nurseries and so, and the forestry. Who and who do we collaborate? I'm sorry, we are in the age of collaboration. If the Igbo man doesn't rethink the way of doing business, then we will become extinct. We are in the era of collaboration. We're in the era that you don't need to owe anything. We're in the era of third-party manufacturing. I am from Unewi. Most of the things we sell at Nkwo is manufactured in China. The issue is some of the ideas and innovations that come from us. Are they domiciled here? Do we have the IPs? That is where the government comes in. A lot of innovation is going on in Anambra, but the people need the support. Yes, for the big ones, they know that they can protect their IP, but the smaller ones, how market? We've seen the dynamics of things that have happened in Nigeria recently about the multinationals leaving. They can leave because they have somewhere else to go. But luckily for us in the Southeast, our businesses are homegrown. They are indigenous-owned businesses. As a government in the Southeast, we should be bothered, but these things are not transferring to the next generation. We have carcass of industries all over the Southeast. And governments keep on talking about attracting new. No new one is coming. Because it's already on the ground that these ones are there, why didn't they survive? So we need that kind of a tripartite thing where the businesses, the government, the non-governmental has a conversation. And that is where we need to talk about how to defy this issue of constant failure. Material talked about the entertainment industry. Enugu used to be the capital of entertainment, but we lost it. While growing up, I was part and parcel of the pilot of Tales by Moonlight. Those of us that are Enugu born and bred. It was NTA going round, picking us from even the state library to produce children's programs, then sponsored by the military government. You had budgets for children's programs in the school, and that is how some of us became creatives and then they became part of the creative industry. But what happened to us even in Nollywood? We lost it. That Nollywood that was spotted in Enugu, if you had watched all the movies in the early 90s, you will see all the local restaurants in Enugu. You will see Emily restaurant as part of the welfare. That thing landed in Asaba. We lost it. We're in an era of technology. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. So the process of even distribution is no longer tied to Pound Road Aba or Opi Weka. So there are more opportunities. What are we doing with that? So it's not only about this trading thing. We've lost it in governance, and we also lost it in the entertainment space. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. I love this angle you took it to. The reason why I love this angle is because I think there's a question here. I was going to throw it to Ansipa, and I still will. You guys will have to pardon me. I have a question to throw to Ansipa while we're on this. So, Ansipa, that's I don't know unknown. The question says, what is the state government doing to make businesses in Anambra more public and draw foreign investors to the state? Which is what she said. So I'll give it to you to answer. I think I have a representative. You guys should pardon me. Your name?
Hello. Good evening. My name is Kongo Adiopu. I head public-private partnerships for ANSIPA. I completely agree with my big sister. These are conversations that we've had again and again. Can I have a different mic, or is this one low?
Okay, come. No problem, don't worry. Boot on. I'll give him my mic. Take.
Okay. Thank you. This is better. So, good day. This is a conversation that we've had again and again within government and with private sector stakeholders. How can we basically support industries domiciled in Anambra while attracting the new ones from outside? And a second leg to what she said was, I don't know if it was clearly understood, but she was talking about government-owned assets and how many of them are currently moribund. So how do we get all of these things done in the very, very short time we have? Remember, the biggest issue that we have in all this, fantastic. So the biggest issue that we have in all this is we usually work with a fixed time frame of 4 years. That's a problem with government. We work for 4 years, hope for another 4 years, and then you don't know what the plans of the next person coming in is. But I'm going to speak to what we are doing right now in government today. One of the buckets is we are looking at all the state-owned assets and figuring out how do we optimize these assets. And in the words of our governor, government has no business doing business. So any assets that is wholly government-owned, we look to how do we bring in the private sector and then reduce the stake of government in it up to a point where we can only step in when it actually concerns policy matters, more or less. So this is now private sector driven, and I'm sure everybody that is private sector in this room knows that private sector doesn't work the way government works. If you want something done in a day in private sector, you will get it done. It will probably take a week or two within government. So we're pushing all of these businesses to the private sector. For instance, the former Ikem Hotel, it's now being built as the Oka Shopping Mall, built by Sundry Markets, who owns Market Square, Kilimanjaro. They had a new branch open newly at Asaba, and they are on site working, and then I'm sure before the end of Q1 next year, that branch in Oka is going to be open. And this is private sector-led development. The government is not funding this. It's being funded by the private sector. And then that's where you will see the true sustainability come in. Now, a second thing I'll talk about here is the moribund industries in the States. We've reached out to a few. I'm not at liberty to actually speak out, but there are a few big industries in the States that are actually, that have not been working for some years. And most of it happens due to, well, primarily one single reason. The chief promoter of that business dies. And then we have the kids, some of them have come to us saying, look, we want to get this thing back online, and then we need your assistance in bringing it back online. Of course, the government is not going to invest in it, but then how do we help them structure a new deal where we have other private sector players come in and then have that business run? Remember, in everything that we do, we are focused on our goals to helping Mr. Governor achieve all of his campaign promises. And one of them here that is critical in this is to create employment. When government says we are going to create employment, they're not saying that they're going to employ everybody. They're going to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, and then basically the people residing in Anambra State can have the jobs from all these industries. Am I missing one more? I think there's a third part to this. Oh, and then attracting the foreign investments. Attracting the foreign investments. Yes. So on that one, we have several projects that we're actually conceptualizing right now. One of them is the Anambra Mixed-Use Industrial City, which I'm sure plenty of people in this room were in that public space. We've had several stakeholder engagements on this, and this is basically, we are trying to set up industrial clusters in the states where we have various industries come in. So some of these moribund industries, they have peculiar issues with them. Some of them have bad road, and they want the government to come and do a road. And I don't see the government going to do a road all the way from the express going all the way down to Omas and then things like that.
Excuse me, sir. So my question is half answered. Let me direct you a little bit more.
Okay.
So the question, I'll go again, then I'll tell you the angle I want you to address. So what is the state government doing to make businesses in Anambra more public and draw foreign investors to the state? So what I'm looking to hear, like Prof rightly said earlier, he said a lot of companies are exiting Nigeria currently. Not just Nigeria, a lot of companies are exiting states. What is Anambra State government doing, like she said also, for locally owned businesses to make sure they stay sustained and they don't go down the drain? What is the government doing in that regard? That is what I'm asking.
Okay. So I'm still going to go back to the last thing I was saying. We are actually building industrial clusters. And if anybody understands what an industrial cluster is here, then you will see that this is a sure way to solve most of these problems that we have. I'm sure if we all go to our villages, next to us or somewhere down the road, there's an industry there doing something. Maybe you're making plastic there, and then someone has an agro-processing here, and they're just scattered everywhere around the state. And it's very difficult to bring the infrastructure that is needed.
Order, please, let him speak. Please. Can we keep quiet, please? Can we keep quiet? Please and please. Bikono, there, man. Oh, Bikono, there, man. So before you continue, I'll direct again. These industrial clusters that are being built, they are expected to be occupied by active businesses, right?
Of course.
That is what I asked. What are we doing to make sure that those businesses live up to the kickoff time of that industrial cluster so that they can occupy it?
Excuse me. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no, you're not interrupting. We're having a panel session.
I was there when I was invited to represent the academia when we are having stakeholder interaction. That was what they called it. That's week Monday. And I asked this question. You've presented this project very wonderful. What is it that will not make it work? I've not received any answer. It is not what makes project work, you tell us. Tell me what will not make it to work. It's Nigeria now. We talk about who is a leader. Everybody will answer it. But ask this simple question, who is not a leader? We'll go ask it. The truth about it is that we are pointing out something. If you bring a fowl to a house, the one you are raising locally, and they are dying one by one, and you invite a poultry farmer from India to come and start poultry there, he will first ask you, what is making your own? Why are they dying? And that one is enough red flag for us. When somebody enters Anambra State, he sees Premier Biri dead. Sorry, he's still alive. And he moves straight towards Oka, the best flour mill in Southeast. Dead, to me, buried. And yet we have the highest numbers of bakeries in Southeast. No single flour mill. Then you move up a little. You start seeing other things you want to see. The only thing we are good at establishing filling stations. Even though we don't have refinery. We don't have refinery here, but we have filling stations everywhere. But we are not asking them not to establish filling stations for us. But we are asking, can somebody come to say, I have working refinery in Orient Petroleum? I think that is what we are asking. The government, the private sector are not actually asking for money. From our research. For instance, you said that the businesses, government doesn't have any
business doing business.
I think that is a fallacy. It's old. Yes, let me agree. It's old. Today, the American government, they are the first buyer of every wheat produced in their country. And they are the marketer of those things. Go to India. And that's why we have been calling for us for indigenous entrepreneurship system. I don't want to talk about, okay, we have one of the best malts, indigenous. Now, I've tasted it, Aston malt. Forget about their challenges, what they are going through. If the government gets to there and talk to another government, if possible, with a structure, in African country, on behalf of this company, it becomes a national drink. It becomes, in that country, let me not say it's, the Nescon Africa has taken Aston outside this country. But what we are trying to do is this. Can you bring that linkage, the bridge If Aston is selling in about 5 countries, apart from local consumption, it will employ more people. And number 2, we will have more what you call professionalism. And that is the point where they are bringing. What we make Chris Ora Group not to suffer too much. What we make Tiger Foods not to be the one that will produce and sell in Liberia and do everything by itself, it weakens them. And what they will do is that, like what I said, instead of me suffering for this manufacturing, can't take go neighbor also, and that ones will be losing. So we are asking the government that please, what I was asking that day was that you have given us a strategic plan, wonderful. Can we have the strategic implantation and implementation known? That's execution and control. Can we look at things that will not make it to work? If the one we have around there in the urban industrial layout, we're having challenges. If the one we have in Mpo, in Ogidi, and other places, they're having problems, they are saying the same thing. What is government now thinking as a strategic way out direction that will help these individual companies to begin to benefit? And most of them are not producing up to 25% capacity. It's not because they don't know how to produce, but because there is no market available. They have high inventory now. Abi? They have high inventory. They produce and they stack it there. So we want government, I think I'm sending a message, that we want government to be more practical and proactive in this direction. Some of us can support and give, but when I hear government doesn't have anything in business, so they should not collect tax from the business.
Okay. I'm coming.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, hello.
They should not collect levy from the business.
Hello, everybody.
Because it is when the business is working that they will have to pay. So you have something to do with business and businesses.
Thank you, Prof.
I think that is where we are missing it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. And before mommy. Okay. So before mommy goes, I want to tell you something, sir. What they are doing now, I know, yeah, mommy will go. I really do not expect any reaction from you after this.
No, there will be.
No, sir. The reason why I don't expect any reaction from you after this is that they are sending you a message to send back to the government. I know that we are all government. We are all the elements that make up government as individuals. So I expect you not to react. Let's take it as a message back to the government from them. Let me hear from her.
I like it. Thank you very much. In the beginning, I told you guys I'm very controversial, and I want to remain controversial.
You should keep quiet now so that I can hear her speak.
And I'm happy you're here. ANSIPA is actually one of the government agencies we can actually interact with because you're talking with people that understand, and sometimes we see corrections, sometimes we see certain omissions. I'm happy you brought up the issue about the industrial layouts, which happened. The presentation was last week, Monday. I couldn't come physically, but I'm happy ANSIPA provided a platform for those that couldn't come physically to join online. And I'm happy you made that presentation. We've talked about several times about the issue of industrial layout. But again, we ask you, that industrial layout, who is going to occupy it? The proper way we expected you to do this thing is you talk to His Royal Highness. You talk to Tiger Foods. What are the components of what you manufacture? What is your value chain? From at the point where somebody's raw material becomes a waste or a byproduct, it's another person's raw material. So if you had called, for example, we talked about Axton malt, we talked about the spices. His Royal Highness, what are your byproducts? What are your wastes? How do we manage it? And you now plug in another business within the cluster that will take off what is supposedly his own waste and turn it into another product, which is of value to somebody else that is how industrial clusters work. I come from an area that is known for auto and motorcycle and the rest. Where we buy those components from, it's small, little businesses. Sometimes you find out that that little family-owned business that occupies in a very small space, somewhere in China or Vietnam, is actually supplying to BMW, Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, and the rest. So, but there must be an anchor that attracts those people. As you travel around the world under ANSIPA, I know you guys attend events, you go for Afro-Exim thing and the rest. But before you go for those things, you come and sit with us. We tell you, look, we have been looking for who and who that will do this. Because if we have a manufacturer of so components, it will take away, we'll give you in percentages, we give you in figures what that thing will add to our business and the number of jobs that it will actually plug in. Yes, you have presented to us that we have new industrial layouts coming out, but who is going to be there? Is it going to be His Royal Highness business? What are the raw materials in it? Does ANSIPA know that? Let's leave manufacturing. Let's go to the entertainment. Anambra has a budget. Ikem, my brother, is here. Ikem Mazeli. He can close up any infrastructure you have here that's maintained for music. Well, we have the O2. We watch the video. Burna Boy going to, we watch the Hillsbury Festival. People going abroad. Where will Ikem Mazeli perform in Onitsha? Where will GUO's boss drop those people that will come to watch him? Where will the police, where will the security be? What stops us? He talked about Onitsha shutting down during Christmas, and that was how he had the opportunity to perform. Why should Onitsha shut down? Why shouldn't, when the market closes, that is when Ikem Mazeli will have 1 week of festival in Onitsha, and we have all the hotels in Onitsha filled. Why can't we do it? You think investment promotion is all about the industrial? It cannot be all about the industrial. It has to be the trading. It has to be the welfare. Our food, Nigeria has a large diaspora market. Our food is all over the world. Thanks to the likes of TikTok, we have influencers everywhere. And somebody wants to taste Onugbu soup. How can we do that? If Anambra State government or Anambra investment, let me even ask, do you people have a strategic plan for the entertainment industry? If you don't, you're living in the past. Because in even the issue of export business, we have what we call export in products and export in services. Ikem Mazeli is an exporter. He exports music. Do you know why it's easier for him to export than it is for His Royal Majesty or for Tiger Foods? He doesn't need to containerize his exports. If you're watching on YouTube from India or from Korea, anywhere, Ikem Mazeli has exported and he's earning in dollars. My brother, I know you're paying YouTube. When you want to collect your proceeds, do you pay taxes in the US? He pays. And again, that comes to the issue of innovation. Are there creatives? Are there new apps? Are there new, we have heard about solution this, solution that, solution this and that. What are the solutions? We have about solution pack. But you told us government has no business in business. Things are named by the solution. Why we are really, I'm happy you are here, is for you to go back and tell the government that government has every business. Order. Because we want, as Onitsha market shuts down by December, Ikem Mazeli has a 7 days shutdown for Onitsha. And that is when His Royal Highness can sell his malt. Even the other Interfat can sell. Tiger Foods can sell his. There must be an ecosystem, and we need to synergize. Thank you very much.
Okay. I see all of you were waiting for this moment. And not to cut short the fun. So, so what is going to happen now is I'm going to take a response from you. Then we're going to go on a very short break. A very short break. Then we'll come back to this session. Thank God for the rain. Nobody can tell me that they want to go anywhere. We are here. Mommy, you wait. You give us like 1 hour more. Please, ma. Thank you very much, ma. So, response, sir. 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to clarify. I believe I was taken out of context when I said government has no business doing business. I did not say government has no business in business. Government has every business supporting MSMEs in the States and everywhere else. And if you actually understand what we are talking about, what we are trying to do, you will see that it is this support that we are focused on 100%. We cannot be focused on supporting, say, a rice mill when we have a rice mill. The government is going to be in competition with the same private sector who they are meant to support. It's going to be very, very difficult to do. So all I'm saying is this. The support that we are going to give businesses are for businesses, not for government-owned businesses. I would just like to get that out of the way first of all. So it's not an issue going forward anymore. Now, following up on this, I believe this same support that businesses expect to get from government, if you actually understand, I'm sure Prof understands some of the components in this industrial city. It's not a city that is just going to be supporting or basically giving land for factories to build. There are different components to it. You spoke of Nnewi and how they have their automotive cluster in there. There is an automotive district within this industry. There's an agro-processing district within this industry. And this agro-processing district has 3 agricultural transformation centers across the state which are going to supply these zones. And to cap it all, there is an export emporium that is going to be sited in this city, basically to promote export of the goods that are actually produced in the city and all over Anambra State and the larger southeast, out of Anambra, out of Nigeria, to Africa and to the world. That is the point of that export emporium. In all of this, there is a special economic zone status, which we have put in an expression of interest, and we hope to get this in the next 6 to 8 weeks approved. Now, apart from all of these things I mentioned now that are within the SEZs, because anybody who understands SEZs understand that all the transactions done within the zones are usually dollarized, usually making the cost of operating within those clusters slightly on the premium end. But we still have a large chunk of land set aside for MSMEs. Not just land. It's going to come with land and all supporting infrastructure, including building and warehouses for plug-and-play industries. So you are a tailor and you need a space of this size and you want to work. You come in there and you lease your space for however long you want. The warehouses are built, everything are built. This is going to support the small businesses in the States while also providing them the export access that they need through the export emporium. We have been working on the ports in the States here to see that all of the goods that come out of Anambra State get to be evacuated out of the state entirely, to see that our traders within the state can bring their goods into Anambra State with Anambra State as their port of final destination. So, but then all of these things take time. We have plans for these things. Are they there on ground today? No, they are not. So if the point of this session is to talk about the things that are not on ground, then it's fine. Everything is not on ground. We are not where we are supposed to be. We are not where we hope to be. But then we are working towards it every day. We are making plans for this. And when these documents are now finally made public, when all of this is done and groundbreaking happens and a clearer understanding
as to how all the work we're doing around is basically for the good of Ndanambra, then I think it will come to a greater understanding. Sorry, one sec. Now, apart from this mixed-use industrial city, we are working on a new city in Onitsha. We are working on a new city in Oka. These are all in early stages. Are these cities on ground today? No. Are these projects that are going to start and then complete in the next 2, 3, 4 years? No. But they will start. And then they will keep on being built upon. Now, the thing is, you see, the lack of planning is what has kept us where we are today. The fact that nobody wants to take the bull by the horn and say, look, I'm going to start this thing. I probably will not be the one to actually see the end of it. I probably will not be the one to actually commission this project. Because when we keep saying what is on ground today and what have you done and then what are you doing, then every single government that comes into office is going to be focused on one thing: quick wins. What can I do in the next 2 to 4 years? Start this project, finish it, and then I'm out of here and I get all my own accolades.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we're going to be going on a very short break, but then, by the virtue of this session, you have unintentionally become my panelist. So you're not living here. You're not leaving this stage. Listen, sir. Listen. You're not leaving the stage anytime soon until the panel session is over. You're not part of my panels. So we're going.
I'll have to take an excuse. I have a previous engagement in Oka for 6 o'clock.
You can give us your second to replace you. But then I need Ansipa here. Because what we're talking about deals integrally with government. And we cannot have this conversation without having you here. And you can tell yourself the truth that this conversation has had a new dimension ever since you came on the stage.
And I thought we were supposed to be focusing on succession.
They are all part of succession now.
Yeah,
but then I'm coming.
The concept note I got from you guys, not this kind of succession. I like my big sister. She
coming.
Always throws a spin on things.
I'm coming. So the quick break we're going on is going to be done like this. So like I told you guys earlier, our headline sponsors, Tiger Food Limited, they say they have something for us. And as we can all hear, it's raining outside heavily. I wouldn't want us to crowd the outside where the vendors are staying. So I've told them what they have for us, they are bringing it into the hall. So none of you will have to stand up. Everything is going to get to each row. So while we are seated, the music is going to be played so that will calm the tempo. The tempo is heated. I love and hate it at the same time, but then it is what it is. So Tiger Food is going to refresh us for a moment, and also do well to get one of the Tiger Food products when you're leaving, because this might be the best place you get